Good morning. I was reflecting on something this morning that reminded me of a book I read years ago called Raising Lazarus. And this book is about a woman who had heart failure and was in need of a heart transplant. And you know how easy those are to get. She was on the list for a long time and put her in a kind of limbo position where she had no control over anything. So finally they found a heart for her, and it was the heart of a young man who had just died in a motorcycle accident. And the transplant was successful. And after she had been recovery for a while, after she'd been recovering, she began noticing that she had different cravings, different longings, different desires. She wanted to eat food she'd never eaten before. She wanted to watch movies that she'd never enjoyed before. She wanted to skydive. And so she finally decided she would check with the family of the heart donor. And when she did so, it was quite moving, obviously, for everybody. And she found out that, yes, he liked chocolate ice cream. Yes, he was a daredevil and had no fear. Yes, he liked science fiction movies. And it was such an eye-opening experience for her. It helped her to see herself in a new way. You see, the heart is the carrier of DNA. And so when this heart was transplanted into her, his DNA became part of her DNA. His DNA changed her DNA. It's an extraordinary story. I know you've heard similar ones, but still, it's amazing to me. So what's the parallel for our faith? Of course, right? Because I'm always looking for those parallels in my own life. We have been given the life and spirit of God. So we have God's DNA inside of us. That's like so wild. God's DNA lives inside of us, and therefore we are not just ourselves in the world, but we're also extensions of what God wants to provide for God's people. We become that ambassador, that emissary. And so when I act in my life among the people I normally rub shoulders with, I consider myself, and I think we need to, know that we are bringing the light and life of God into situations that might not exist there otherwise. We become an opportunity for God to love humanity in new ways. So when you feel that nudge to do something that's completely out of character, or you feel that call to respond to a human situation where you would never have responded before, trust the DNA. Trust God's DNA within you. And know that every time you reach out and you act in that way, the love of God draws you nearer to the divine sacred heart. Have a great day.